my friends, and welcome to the live stream. Ooh, I think we all need a bit of a break. It's getting kind of crazy out there, huh? Oh, let's not watch the news. Let's watch a YouTuber do a nice relaxed live stream. We've got colored lights, we've got fun music, we've got a pretty girl. She's coming in later. And we also have we also have the way that we like to start the live streams, which is with a pretty candle that smells nice. Hey, guess what? This is going to be the last live stream from this office because I have finally been promised good internet in my flat. So coming in January, the power of the internet. And I don't have to rent an office in North London anymore. I can just like live stream from my house. How good is that? I'm gonna save myself a lot of money. So hey, let's get this stream underway. Light your candles now. Hey! Ekavu Pointy Horse, thank you very much for that super chat. It's kind of big, right? Fucking hell. That reminds me, if there are any super chats over the course of the evening, I always do my best to shout them out. Do keep your questions short if you're submitting them via super chat, so they're so they can reach my brain. MR1, she says Omicron's happening quite a lot in London. It might be out there, but don't worry, you can't get COVID from watching a live stream. I am double vaxxed and boosted. Omicron, oh my god, bitch be gone. We don't get it on the live stream. We don't have it. Don't worry, everything is fine in here. Do you like my nails, by the way? I like them. I got them done yesterday. It's good. Thank you very much for that super chat, Magnus Dethan. Hey, awesome. I'm glad I could help. Whoops. Oh, thank you very much to the person who just texted me saying that I was looking pretty. It's not a particularly good picture that you just sent me though. Let me put my phone on quiet so that's not going to keep happening. But yes, hello and welcome to the stream. You know what? I've got some treats for us because it's the final live stream of the year. It's the wrap-up stream, so I have some chocolate raisins. We're going to be feeding me and probably the floor throughout the course of the stream. And also I have a bottle of something a little bit special. I have something, it's a very good year. It's a special vintage. I picked it up. It was very difficult to obtain. It is Coke Zero Cherry. Because we don't drink on live streams. That's a bad idea. It's a little pro tip from me to you. But yeah, welcome along. Thank you very much, Axel Karp, who liked the latest video. So yeah, I thought what we usually do on these live streams is we go over the last video that I made and what the feedback to it was and how people liked it, and we can do that a little bit. And also, I think we can talk a little bit about what this year has had in store. Obviously, it's been quite a big year for the channel, and maybe a little bit about what my plans for 2022 are as well. So yeah, welcome along. D7 asks for my hair care routine. Honestly, my hair's not looking that great tonight. Like, yeah, I don't have very good straighteners. I need to get some. I've ordered some better straighteners, but the ones I've got aren't very good. So it's a bit like, you know. So, ah! Oh no, it rolled away. It's okay, I've got it. Oh, you see what I mean? Ugh. Do you like this jacket, by the way? It's good. This was originally going to be my outfit for Trans Pride, but it didn't arrive in time. That's for the Bird says, would you rather fight one horse-sized goose or 20 regular geese? I feel like I would fight the 20 geese because I feel like once I got into a rhythm, it would be easier. But yeah. So, the last video that I made was called Violence and Protest. I was pretty happy with this one. I think it came together well. Thank you very much to Robert E.O.'s Speedwagon. I think you should name it Marmalade, because that's a cute name for any animal. I once dated a girl who had a horse called Marmalade. Horse got more attention than I did. But anyway, Marmalade's a good name for an animal. Yeah, this last video I was really happy with how it came together. I was writing it whilst I was in Romania a lot of the time and like researching it. So it ended up being quite dense. Because the research period was about 2 weeks longer than it normally would be. So I think it was like kind of better as a result. Danny Unkrish says, when is the BBC going to put you on? They should. They already have. I was in season 2 of Ladhood. It came out like in the first half of this year. So yeah, the research phase was pretty long. I was kind of fond of this one. Long-time viewers of the show will know that I have 3 criteria for when I am happy with a video, and that is, first of all, was it made from curiosity, not ambition? In this case, definitely, I think it was. I was quite proud of myself in that, like, I wrote 2 or 3 drafts of the script of this one that were it was like pretty much done and shaped, and then a friend of mine sent me an article that like was really inspiring and kind of changed the direction of it, and I made it about protest in the context of the climate as well. So I was quite proud that I was able to sort of maintain the flexibility that comes with following the creativity. So curiosity, not ambition. Yes, I think so. Is it my unique creative vision? Yes, I think it is. Yeah, definitely, for sure. User MC Skull says, as a trans person, I wouldn't work for the BBC. I would be wary about doing stuff with BBC News, but BBC Entertainment is a separate thing. And they are also one of like the biggest employers of actors in the country, so I can't really say no if the BBC offer me a role. My career is not in a position where I can do that. Eli Powers, thank you very much for that super chat as well. So those are my first 2 criteria: curiosity, not ambition, and is it my unique creative vision? Was it made out of compassion for myself and others? Yes, I think it was. I don't think it was like not compassionate or discompassionate, uncompassionate. I don't know. But yes, there was compassion for myself and others. It was a long day on set. It was quite a tough shoot. We were pretty tired by the end. And actually there was a point where I was like quite proud of myself, where we'd had like a pretty difficult morning and we were a little bit behind, and the crew were like, oh, it's okay, we can work through lunch. And I was like, no, I don't want you to work through lunch. Like, I want you to take the time for your lunch break. Like, take that time. And it's great that you want to, but don't do it. So, and it all worked out in the end. Oh, I love this song. This is my favorite song on the live stream playlist. So yeah, in terms of how the video was received, it had an absolutely gangbusters opening weekend. It was like 250,000 or 300,000 opening weekend, and now it's sitting pretty at almost 650,000, which is pretty decent for 2 weeks. Like, it's pretty nice. I was pretty happy with it. So yeah, it was good. I was pretty pleased with how it went down. People seemed to like it. There was transphobia update. Boo, 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 boo. There was a little bit of transphobia this time. There was maybe like a dozen to like 20 really explicitly hateful comments that I got rid of. But it seems that my zero tolerance strategy is working, where I'm just like, if you say something transphobic even once under my channel, I simply mute the user so you cannot comment again ever. And that was nice. It worked out well. Beautiful. So there was a little bit this time, but it seemed to be easily manageable, which was nice. There were a couple of mistakes in the video, which I do want to highlight, and thank you to everyone who pointed them out. So in the French sections, I did say that the French Revolution happened in the 19th century, not the 18th century. That is incorrect. It did happen in the 18th century. That was just a mistake. The script even says 18th, but I just said 19th, and I didn't realize that I'd said that until the video was already out. So that is a mistake. It's an interesting face I'm making there, like. So yeah, that was my bad. And there were some good comments as well. Speaking of mistakes, so quite a few people got on my case about the German. I spoke some German in this video and, you know, grossly mispronounced it. I've never studied German the way that I've studied French. So, yeah. I was surprised by the strength of people's feelings on that. So my apologies to the nation of Germany. Hi, Mia. Good to have you here. But yeah, I was surprised by the strength of feeling on that. So I'm sorry. I will take that on board in future. I didn't realize that German people were like so sensitive about the kind of language sounding unusual to an English speaker, which is fair enough. Fair enough. James Malidi, the bits I played over the massive criminal violence, it was the opening notes of Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. It wasn't a joke, like it was just me mispronouncing it. It wasn't a deliberate joke. It was just me like not getting it right, because I don't speak German. But fair enough. I will take that on board in future, and I will try a little bit harder. Who's that German comedian Henning Wehn who's like, a lot of people say that Germans do not have a sense of humor. I do not think this is funny. I like that joke. I met him in a hot dog stand once at 1 a.m. in Edinburgh. Nice guy. There were some other nice comments too. So, Wesley Blackwell said that the video really helped them understand the topics in a new way and left them with some questions, like some things to think about rather than just like nailing down a conclusion, which, excuse me, which I really liked. I was really happy with that. That's kind of what I go for with the videos is sometimes people are like, oh, what's the conclusion? Or like, what's the takeaway? And I'm like, just resist that urge. I don't like it if you can distill what I've said into one sentence because the videos themselves are already a distillation of the sources that I used to compile them. So I like it when a video kind of leaves you a little bit open-ended and with some questions. That's really nice. And I got a similar comment from Ollie Jones, who said it struck a good balance between making a point and leaving the viewer with things to think about, which is exactly what I want. I don't want to just leave them with, oh, like in her latest video, Philosophy Tube said, oh, so. Delia Core, no, I don't still have a PO box. Sorry, I got rid of it when a stalker used it to find out where I live. Sorry. So now I don't do that anymore. Also, surprisingly expensive PO boxes. You would think it'd be cheap, but it's not. It's like several £100. So I was like, I can probably save this money. So yeah, that was fun. Do 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 do. Oh, this was a nice comment. Chris Bean said that he's like a pretty conservative guy and he listens to the show as he's driving along in a truck. He says I drive a truck. I don't know whether that means as a job or whether he's just like he just drives a truck for fun. But he said that like the videos are really sort of humanized trans people for him, and there's some trans people in his family who came for Thanksgiving, and like it was all fine and they got on. He said he used the phrase, a little bit of an old-fashioned phrase, but you know, fair enough. He said, "You definitely humanized transsexuals to me," and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'm glad I can help that, Chris. That's cool, man. I'm like, good on you. I'm glad that Thanksgiving was good, you know? That's good to hear. It's nice that I can do that, kind of without trying, but that is nice. So, oh, actually, so here's something interesting. This is a problem that I've encountered a few times on the show, which is that sometimes when I quote a philosopher or I explain a view, people think that that's me endorsing that view or saying that I hold it. And it's like, That's not the case. So in this particular case, I quoted an essay in the London Review of Books by James Lancaster, in which it was this one. It's strange and striking that climate change activists have not committed any acts of terrorism. Thank you, Anansi's Library, for that super chat. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of things that just didn't make it in for time reasons, really. But it seemed a few people saw me quote this essay and thought that I was endorsing this view. People have always kind of like done that on the show. That's actually the reason I started putting the quote on the screen with the name at the bottom rather than just reading it off a page, because I don't really know how much clearer I can be to say that this is not necessarily my view, but that I'm quoting someone. So yeah, it's it was strange that this person said, oh, you know, why have you said this? And I was like, I didn't say that, but I don't really know how to tackle that problem more than I already do. I guess, you know, sometimes people just don't pay attention, I guess. Rachel J. Walsh said that Adelaide's column in this particular video cut very, very close to home. And yeah, there's actually a reason for that. So Adelaide's columns. Well, that's quite a sexy, like, I don't even know when I'm doing that. It's quite a sexy kind of lip bite moment. Axel Karp says it was quite brave to quote Lancaster. Well, here's the thing. That essay was printed in the London Review of Books. So it's not like I'm quoting from Deep Green Resistance or anything. Like, London Review of Books is an extremely well-known and respected publication. I was quite surprised that they published that, but nevertheless, you know, that's where the dialogue, that's where the discourse is at, and like, there you go. So yeah, Adelaide. The reason Adelaide's column is so kind of realistic and close is because quite a lot of the time, some of what she says is verbatim, which is to say it's taken directly from real columns. I think there's a little bit of Rod Liddell in this one, and I changed you know, the references around, and I add things, but there's like occasionally little snippets of sentences that are like real. I think the one like just for challenging anti-fire orthodoxy, I think is a quote from Rod Liddell where I've just changed anti-fire for something else. People were cancelled just for questioning the woke orthodoxy, and like, yeah, that's it's because I take her words from like actual real columnists, and the way that columns often start with something reasonable and then like completely go off the rails is a very kind of British columnist thing. So yeah, that's because in a way, like, her stuff is a little bit of verbatim theatre. There's real DNA in there, you know. Thank you, Cassandra H. I'm glad that it could help. Diana America Rivera, she's not so much quoting real people as like, it's not entirely verbatim. It's just that, you know, little bits of sentences, little turns of phrase are taken from real columns. And also the British columnist tendency to absolutely viciously abuse adjectives and adverbs. To be like, oh, the zealous restrictions, the Stalinist regulations, the absolutely, you know, oppressive or Orwellian shit. You just like absolutely pile up the descriptive words because you've already had, you know, 3 gin and tonics and you're trying to hit a word count. So yeah, the style is deliberately kind of very, very real. Thank you very much, Stephanie Magalia. I highly recommend just simply blocking anyone who's even mildly transphobic to you even once. It's great. I have a great time on Twitter because anytime anybody says even anything like slightly bigoted to me, I just completely block them immediately. I'm just like, gone. You can never see my stuff again. Fuck off. It's great. I've started having a much better time since I started doing that. I don't engage with them. I'm not bothered. I'm creating an echo chamber. That's exactly what I'm doing. I know because I use social media for work and I don't put up with that kind of thing in my workplace. So it's great. Thank you very much, Little Bod. That's a nice one. Anfisa Churn. Good, I'm glad. I wanted Adelaide to fill a slightly different niche because The Arsonist was the portrayal of fascism, right? And I kind of this year I wanted to go in a bit of a different direction and say that Adelaide is not exactly a fascist, but she is someone who has been taken in. Because the arsonist is like, this is somebody who might trick you. But Adelaide is like, this is what you could become if you're not careful. Like, this is the warning. This is the real warning. It's that you could be, you know, you could fall down this path if you're not careful. But yeah, also, I mean, just her look is so iconic. Like when Brian and I were first designing Adelaide way back, I forget what the brief was I gave him. I said like newspaper columnist, and he brought me a whole bunch of stuff. And this jacket was incredible, and it's like, oh, cool. And she wasn't really sexy before Brian came in, which was nice. Like Brian, it was through Brian's influence that she became a bit more like sexual, which I thought was fun because British columnists do often have like a strange horny energy. Danny says, I really love the through line of what are the notes not being played in all the videos this year. Yeah, and that's because all the videos from this year actually had a theme. They all had a kind of semi-deliberate theme, which was the way that power shapes knowledge, in particular the knowledge of the self. And you know what? That's actually a really good segue. Thank you very much for setting me up. And we can talk a little bit about this year on PhilosophyTube. And then we can talk a bit about next year on PhilosophyTube. So this year, the theme, which I kind of like realized was a theme halfway through the year and then kind of deliberately mined a little bit more. So it was like half deliberate. The theme was how power shapes knowledge, in particular knowledge of the self. So Floor Ferret says, would you ever get someone else to play the arsonist? I did. In the first video where Adelaide appears this year, I used a body double to play the arsonist. Thank you very much, Dun Sid. Yeah, so this year the theme was how power shapes knowledge. And we started off with a bit of a bang. Oh my gosh, thank you, Olivia Yates. That's really, really, it's a really very generous super chat. Thank you very much. Let me pull up the first video of the year. Just a little one. Wow, it's already at 2 million views. That's wild. Sorry, I'm getting an ad on my own video. Let me just pull up the title card because the animation for it was really, really good. Yeah, so the first video of the year was bing dun 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 dun. The first video of the year was identity, which obviously came as a surprise to quite a few people. It's just nosed over 2 million views, which is wild. I remember, hi John. I remember when this video came out, it was briefly at the #1 trending spot on YouTube, which was kind of incredible. But obviously the theme of it is like how power shapes knowledge of the self, right? In particular, the kind of power of masculinity. And so I think in terms of like artistic achievement, wow, thank you very much, Arad Bisaria. I don't know whether, so that's 1,000 somethings that you just super chatted me. I don't know whether that's enough to buy an ice cream or a house, but thank you. Is there hope for an eventual Adelaide redemption arc? I don't know. We'll see what happens to liberalism. Because as the nation goes, so does Adelaide go. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Diana America Rivera, wow, that's babes, you've just super chatted me $500. Did you mean to do that? Did you put an extra zero on or something? I think that's quite possibly the biggest super chat I've ever had. investment times 5. Wow. Thank you. That's absurdly generous. Thank you. Wow. Yes, you did mean to do it. Wow. Thank you. I'm honoured. I think I will celebrate with some Jerry Coke. Investment times 5. Stonks. Some Christmas money. Hey, I tell you what though. I'm trying to put a little bit away because we won't talk about pandemic and we won't talk about my personal stuff, but suffice it to say, I am the roll slapper says Sigma grind set, make passive income. Oh god. Yeah, we won't talk about the pandemic and we won't talk about my personal stuff, but suffice it to say, I am supposed to be doing some medical related stuff in January that will require me to go abroad. So if the borders get closed, I'm fucked. I've put a lot of my savings down. I've been trying to make this happen for quite some time, and and I'm like, please, Mr. Biden, please, Biden Sama, please do not close the borders to people from the UK because I need to get in. Please, Joe, don't do me like this. Don't do me like this, man. Don't, Joseph Rodriguez Biden. You can't do this to me. You can't keep me out of the United States. I have to go. I have to obtain treatment for a rare disease that I have. It causes me to turn into Christopher Walken. I need help. The British doctors, they don't know. It's a rare condition. They don't know how to treat it. So I have to come to your country to obtain treatment. And I need you to open the borders. Please, Joseph, please don't cross it. It's degenerative, as you can see. So yeah, I for various reasons need to be in the United States in January. So please, Joe, please keep the borders open. Please, Biden Daddy, keep it open, my dude. I'm double vaxxed, triple vaxxed. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll swim if I have to, but please don't, because I'm gonna lose a lot of money if I do that, because I've already paid for it. So we are gonna find out anyway. So thank you very, very much, Diana. You will. It's more money for the money hole, for the money hole that is being transgender. Thank you. Yes, so videos. In terms of artistic achievement, I think that Identity is really up there with some of the best work I've ever done. I think Reese just did an incredible job as quote unquote me, and it went down so well. Thank you very, very much. Okay, Vu Pointy Horse. Yeah, I used to be a stand-up comedian, and every stand-up comedian has to have a good impression of Christopher Walken. Reese did an amazing job. The crew did an amazing job. Honestly, we were just so happy to make this video, having kept the secret for so long. We were finally like, yes. And I have received many, I think thousands of messages from people saying that this video meant a huge amount to them or even changed their lives. So, yes, user McSkull, that is not me that you're looking at on the screen. That is my friend Reese Tees playing me. He's a professional actor who I've worked with before. And may work with again, maybe next year. I'd like to. So yeah, Reese played me. This was all filmed on the same day. Yeah, he's good. Reese is very, very good. I deliberately hired him because I wanted people to be able to look at him and be like, oh, that kind of looks like Abby, but something's wrong, which is of course exactly how I felt when I looked in the mirror, right? So you kind of you glimpse dysphoria through a glass darkly. But Reese did an amazing job, and the video came together really well. It was really nice of Sony Music to let me use Black Star. So yeah, that was really, really good. Reese did an incredible job. Reese is a YouTuber. I'm not sure if Reese is still making YouTube videos, but yeah. That's fun. Wait, what? This ain't right. Oh, I'm in the wrong window. Sorry. But yeah. Stephanie McAlia. No, that's fine to say. That's exactly why I made the video in that way. Yeah, that's why I didn't just appear at the start and go, ta-da! Like, that's why I made it this way. And it's like this kind of slow saying goodbye and kind of acknowledging that there's, you know, great happiness to that, but also like, you know, something happened on the day he died. Like somebody else was there. Like it's, you know, I think that's totally cool. Yeah, that's an actor. That's my friend Reese playing me. That's not me. The number of people who were filmed. I even did an interview with a journalist who was like, so did you film that like 2 years ago? And I was like, no, that's me. That's me. That's you know, that's my friend. I hired him. I'm sitting just off outside of frame. That's a very funny thing. Abacadarius. That's cool. So the next video was dark music, appropriate. So the next video of the year was capital punishment and prison abolition. I'm getting an ad on my own video. Skip. Don't skip ads, but in this case, I did. So yeah, the next video was capital punishment and prison abolition. Wow, I look quite different even now compared to then. Oh my God, Kevin Rivers. Thank you so much. That's incredibly generous, Kevin. Really, you've spoiled me. I'm concerned that you can keep that money for yourself, you know, it's an awful lot. But thank you. And thank you, Kona Dirg, as well. I'm glad that you enjoy Kill James Bond. I was gonna get to that. Yeah, wow, investment times 4.99. Thank you. That's wild. Mr. Prism says you probably look different because of the skull makeup. Oh yeah. So yeah, capital punishment and prison abolition. I am happy with this video. I think it worked well. I think it's probably my least favorite of the year because I knew that the first video after I made Identity was gonna need to be straight down the middle, pretty easy, nothing fancy, no characters, just pretty, you know, bullseye, Sound of Philosophy tube, just so that the people who were like, okay, I guess I'll stick around, and just to reassure them. Because, you know, Identity as a format was also like, pretty out there, so thank you very much, Danielle Williams. Yeah, so I'm glad, and I'm glad that capital punishment came together the way that it did, and like it did its job, which is to be, you know, pretty solid, which was nice. So yeah, I didn't deliberately make it boring, but I deliberately played it safe. Maybe that's the way to say it. So yeah. Rachel says my voice has changed quite a lot from Identity to now. Yes, it has indeed. You are correct. And then what was the one we had after that? Oh, after that was thank you so much, Nick Bensena. The one after that was Jordan Peterson's Ideology, which was a little bit more out there, a little bit more wild and crazy There's my Christopher Walken-itis again. Objectivities and medicine. I rewatched this one recently and I was quite happy with the jokes because the jokes in it come off pretty well. So yeah, and the costumes in this one were amazing. Like Brian really went to town. Yeah. User McSkull, I can't really answer that because here's the thing. And this is probably good to talk about because it's kind of happened all year. I've had a lot of people message me saying like, oh, where do you get your clothes? Or where do you get your, like, my clothes, not the stuff I wear in videos. Where do you get your clothes? Or like, where do you shop? Or how do you do makeup? Or like, what, how do you have any advice on, voice or anything like that? And the thing is, I've seen it happen in the past that other trans women, especially YouTubers, have said, well, hi Nina, have said, well, here's how I did it. And then you just get thousands of people being like, oh, Abigail Thorne thinks that you need to do these things or you need to work with these people if you want to be really trans. And people just really, I could really kind of get jumped on if I tell you what I've done, because people then think of me saying that it's a requirement. And people, quite rightly point out that I've been able to do things that aren't available to most people because of my position. So I would love to share with you what I've done, but unfortunately I don't think it's a good idea. So you will have to do your own research on that. I'm sorry. But anyway, Jordan Peterson's ideology. I had fun with this one. I knew, again, like I played it safe with capital punishment, and then this was like kind of playing it safe again, because it's like I'd done a video on Jordan Peterson before, but also like his, oh, thank you very much, Anarchy's Library. Wait, I know that name. I think I've seen your video on something this year. Anyway, yeah, so I did, because Jordan Peterson had a new book out. So this one was kind of like playing it safe from a kind of business point of view, and that, yeah, don't worry, I'm still gonna make stuff that's like, responding to trending topics, and I'm not going like totally out there, and like it also kind of set the model for the transness of the content, in that yes, it's gonna come up and I'm gonna use it as an example, but I am not going to like dwell on it endlessly. Thank you very much to Rena K for that super chat. So yeah, this one, I was really happy with this one. It was good. Thank you very much, Ruth. It also was the first appearance of Adelaide, which was fun. Again, looking very different now. Not quite sure what that is all about. And indeed, the arsonist was also in it, as my body double played him. That's not a split screen. That's one shot. But yeah, it was good. I was really happy with this one. It was good. It kind of like pushed the boundaries a little bit, but wasn't, not in terms of format though. In terms of content, it's like a fairly, safe video essay, which was nice. Yeah, and also as user McSkull points out, the response by Jordan Peterson fans was very positive. They were like, yeah, we appreciate you taking the time, and I really did kind of research it as much as I could and give as much credit as I could, and I feel like the intellectual content of the video was pretty good as well. No, Reese was not the body double in this case. The body double was played by my friend Mr. Y, who prefers to remain anonymous but is part of the Philosophy Tube crew. And then next up was Ignorance and Censorship. I like this one. Excuse me. Cherry Coke. Ignorance and Censorship was the one with the owl. Simba the owl. Oh, sweet baby. Simba the owl was, that's a strange face I'm making. Let me find a better one. Yeah, Simba the owl was in this one. I dyed my hair red because I didn't think I was going to get cast in a period drama. I got a live owl. We filmed it in a great place called Fiction Studios. There was a lot of jokes, like the girlfriend jokes about romantic failures. That was good. Yeah, this one was fun. I really liked it. It's I think the script for this one was really tight. I think it's one of my favorites of the year. Oh, thank you so much, Orion. Yes, it was another person. Yeah. Yeah. So this was the one I had the live owl. It was all filmed in the library of Athena. In terms of like format, this one was pretty straightforward, talking head. A couple of nice costumes. Yeah, nice looking. You know, pretty basic stuff. It was really good. Ah, no, David Wood's The Dictionary Gag was first introduced back in Confucius. It's an old one. So yeah, I like this one. I think it was good. And again, we're kind of building on that theme of power and knowledge. It was around about here that I started to realize that theme was developing. And then I lent on it a little more with the next one, which was social constructs. This one I think is my fave of the year. Apart from Identity, I think this one's my favorite. That was it, Anansi's Library. I saw that video and I enjoyed it. Yeah, this was my favorite one of the year. It was a hard day's filming because it was a long way to the venue. The makeup was quite challenging on this one. Thank you, Danny, for that super chat. But I think in the end, the look of this video was just amazing. And just like a total contrast with the library. I wanted to go, thank you, Little Bod. I wanted to go from like the library bookish to something mechanical. And I think the philosophy in this one is like really technical and it's really good and it worked out and it had some really, really good looks. This is really where Brian kind of started to flex his muscles a little bit. And when he showed me this, like the Dolce & Gabbana visor was so good. He was like, oh, I got you this. I thought you might like it. And I was like, oh yeah. And like all the looks that he gave me and with like the California wave and the hair and then the Mustang that just happened to be there on the day. And like I got to meet Ed China, which was really nice. Ed was really cool. So that was really nice. Like it was a really good day. It was a challenging day, but it was really nice. Of course I've seen the things as YTP of this video. I love it. That Gary. Yeah, it was really good. I like this one. And I still have that belt that I'm wearing in the shot. I still have it. In fact, I'm like literally currently wearing it. Check me out. Whilst I'm up, I'm just gonna open the windows. It's really warm in here. Come on. There we go. Oh, that's a bit better. But yeah, this outfit was very cool. Yeah, and the video came together really nicely. There might be a bit more noise now because I've opened the window a bit. What came after this one? What was after this one? Oh, this one. The next one was Food, Beauty, Mind. Food, Beauty, Mind, I kind of pushed the boat out a little bit. I tried to play it safe and was rebuffed by my creativity and by my honesty. So we did oh, that's fun. The kind of cross-eyedness. Yeah, that was good. And there was some nice philosophy, and I thought the philosophy was kind of like applied in a nice way too. This one got a little bit more personal than I initially planned it to, but I thought it went okay. I think in terms of like artistic... Oh, that's not a very pretty face. I think in terms of like art, this one is one of the more artistically sophisticated videos. I was really quite pleased with this one. The jokes are good. The format is good. It was also the introduction of Kelly Slaughter, who's a character that I love, and multiple times throughout this year I've wanted to bring Kelly back. I I've wanted, like, there's been moments where I've thought, oh, should I add Kelly to this video? And she's never quite made it. She's always ended up being cut out. But I don't think I'm quite done with Kelly yet. I think there may be more Kelly in future. So yeah, that would be fun. Also, this one's done like 800,000, so that's pretty good. All the videos this year have cleared 500,000 easily, which is fantastic. The Patreon kind of took a rise in January, and it's like gradually fallen because of, you know, COVID and stuff. People are losing their jobs, so it's of course quite understandable that they're not spending their money on YouTube. It's totally fine. So yeah, I really want to bring Kelly back because this interview format worked really well. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure how Kelly would fit into a non-interview format, because the interview is doing something very specific here, which is that Kelly is in a very sort of Althusian way. If you've read Althusser, Kelly is being called into existence by a male voice, and that's very deliberate. That excuse me, I'm choking on chocolate raisins. She's being called into existence by a male voice. And that, coupled with, you know, the bars behind her and the stuff she's talking about, really helps get her point across. So it'd be interesting to see how she would work in a different format. Yeah, I am. Thank you so much, Sydney King. Good, I appreciate it. Yeah, I still have that necklace, by the way. I like it a lot. Also, Kelly, I think, is one of my favorite characters because Kelly kind of represents, to me, Kelly represents a version of me that I could become if I'm not careful, and that she only lives to work. She has no outside work life. She is just pure girl boss. She's just like working all the time. Elevation Allah says, why are you eating on camera? Were you raised by wolves? Because I want to, and because I'm enjoying eating these sweets. If you don't like it, log off. Like, come on, we are specifically talking about a video in which I talk about my struggles to eat on camera. Like, come on. Yeah. So I like Kelly. She's kind of like a warning to me, and it's nice inhabiting that character. It's good. So yeah. Next up was Islamophobia and analysis. So, this one, people reviewed it positively. People were happy with it. I think it could, kind of like a Keir Starmer answer, and they're just like, I welcome the Islamophobia video, but I'm calling it to do more. I think the reason that I am a little bit down on this one is that I originally had plans to do a very, very out there format. I wanted to do a panel show with a whole bunch of Muslim journalists. It didn't work out because we just didn't have time, and I couldn't get anyone to, like, I couldn't get everyone, you know, together on the right dates. So I ended up doing just kind of a regular old philosophy tube format. And I think it worked. I think it worked fine, but it just wasn't quite. It didn't quite live up to my ambitions, and it's hard for me not to see what it could have been as opposed to what it was, or what I wanted it to be. But you know, in the end, I think it worked out. I kept that dress; it's really good, and I think it was like it looked very strong. People had positive reactions to it. I got a lot of Muslim people writing to me saying, oh, like, we really appreciate it and really enjoyed it. Could have gone a bit further. And yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to change the music because this one's a bit, yeah. But yeah, it was cool. I kind of liked it. It's not my fave, but yeah. Oh, and Adelaide is in this one as well, isn't she? Yes, she is. There she is. Makeup looking different because we got a different makeup artist, which was fun. Do you plan on doing a sequel in the originally intended format? Says Ollie Scribbler. No, I never do part twos. Never do sequels. Never. Curiosity, not ambition, Tormuse reminds me. Yes, quite right, thank you. And then we are into the final episode of the year, which was violence and protest. So we've come full circle. There's 9 episodes this year. I think other than Identity, my favourite is I'm giving the favourite spot to those kind of joint to Ignorance and Censorship and Social Constructs. But yeah, that's my that's what 2021 was like. Oh, and we also got some fan art for violence and protests, which I should acknowledge, because there was some really good. Oh, also, surprise flex. If you go to the end of violence and protest, the very end after the credits, there's a joke which is for the OG Philosophy Tube heads, for the OG, not just OG Philosophy Tube heads, but the OG couple of other channels heads as well. There's a cheeky little reference to someone. Just give me a second here to prune the chat. The chat's just catching up with some things. I love this song, it's so good. In fact, I'm going to... nice. Thank you to the mods. So yeah, we had a surprise flex. a little reference to the old heads. So yeah. And then there was some lovely fan art. Chat says you can't hear the music. You should be able to hear it. It's going in the background. You can't hear it when I play the videos, but... Oh, cool. Rena K, that's awesome. Don't worry if you don't get the surprise flex reference. It's an old one. It's an old one. It's a reference to a few old friends. Good. I'm glad you can hear the music. I don't know how you managed to put out 9 well-researched high production videos, especially when you were out filming. Yeah, so I guess we'll do the fan art in a little bit. Yeah, so the other things I was doing this year was I was like filming a couple of series. I filmed a series with the BBC and with I was on a thing on ITV with Steve Coogan. I'm not sure when that comes out. I'd also had like a big role in Django, which will be out on next year. I don't know where that's going to be out yet. I think probably Sky. So depending on where else they sell it, it's kind of very much not up to me. So yeah, it was kind of a big year for acting. Like I signed with a new agent. My play is making big steps towards coming out, which is cool. And I started a podcast called Kill James Bond, which now has over 1 million downloads and is one of the biggest podcasts in the country, so that's kind of cool. So it was kind of a big Abby year. If you bought stocks in Abby in January, they're going to be worth a lot more. And I would hang on to them, because fingers crossed they're going to be worth even more. So yeah, that'll be fun. 2022, I hope acting will keep me busy. Medical stuff will keep me busy. But let's do fan art and then we'll talk about my plans for 2022. So we had this one from u/Clackspoon on the subreddit. I really like this one. It's good. The background's really nice. I like the kind of background in a circle. That's a fun design. Thank you very much, Louis Martino Paz, for that super chat. I really like this one from Asteri. The way that you can see the reflection of the fire in Adelaide's eyes. I don't know if you can see that, but you can kind of see the firelight as she's watching it. It's really, really nice. I like that one. And then we had this one from Emerald Zane, which is really cute. I really like this one. It's really nice. The face is really nice. It's a really, really cute little face. Aww. And this one is also from Emerald Zane. A little bit of a different style, but this one's good too. I love the red in the background there. That's so pretty. That's really, really good. And then we had this one from Ernie Sterney Baby. I love that. This is amazing. Like that sort of snowy background, the guillotine in the back. Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah, I love the style on this one. It reminds me a lot of a production of Waiting for Godot that I saw years and years ago, which was set in like a bombed out theatre. But yeah, it was it's fantastic, this one. And the red of the scarf is really pretty. And then we have this one from Mother of Woomy, which is also cute. Cute little friend. Cute little chibi. It's really good. I'm glad we went with the top hat. We went through a few different hats. And there was like little ones and little ones. And I was like, I kind of like the big top hat. It's good, you know. It's good. Is it snow or ash, says Ruth. Good question. Might well be ash. That would fit, wouldn't it? Why do the British say guillotine? Because it's got an L in it. Don't like it, there's the door. Love guillotines. Ain't the monarchy symbol as. Don't like it. Voilà la pod. Ooh, really good question from Joseph G. What's been your favourite outfit you've worn in a video this year? That's a really tough one. Let me just refresh my memory. In terms of the look, I think it's got to be the jumpsuits from Social Construct. The black jumpsuit is just so good with the pleasers. I think it was difficult, but yeah, I think that's just a hell of a look with the cap as well. I like that it's a bit more casual. I like that it's a bit I like that it's not traditionally femme. It's not like you know big like a big dress or anything, but I still look femme in it. It's good. I like it. It really worked well. Yeah, mechanic but sexy. It's good. It was fun. The angel outfit was also very cool, but was quite uncomfortable, so I'm not going to give that my top spot. But yeah, that's the fan art. So I'll tell you what, why don't we yeah, pleasers is what those boots are called. The really, really tall boots, the Lady Gaga boots, that's what they're called. They're called pleasers. So yeah, why don't we talk a little bit about 2022? 2022, thank you very much to Ellipse Xylon Q. Buy some candles, you deserve them, thank you. 2022, I am toying with the rough theme of, I'm not making any promises here, this is all speculation. I'm toying with the rough theme of individual and society. That's kind of where I'm going. So I'm doing a lot of research at the moment into a video on like bodily autonomy and vaccine requirements. Again, this is all kind of, a little bit up in the air. Let me see what else I've got on my, oh, I've got a message from H-Bomb. You'll never guess what happened to me. What? Find out. So yeah, let me, Harry never texts me. Hope he's all right. Yeah, so I thought individual and society would be a nice theme. Oh, thank you, Lady Frankenstein. Bye. So yeah, bodily autonomy and vaccine requirements. I thought maybe something on assisted dying. I thought I could do a video called like Going with Dignity about like assisted dying and stuff, because that's like quite a real hot issue in bioethics. I thought, for some reason Machiavelli, a friend of mine sent me an article on Machiavelli recently, and I was like, I've heard of him, but I know nothing about him. Might be a fun video. I might do one on the philosophy of complaint, because Sarah Ahmed has a book on complaint out. and I do love to call the manager. Maybe one on family values and like what that is, but I don't know. I want to do one on the social contract, not constructs. I've got an interesting aesthetic in mind for that. Speaking of aesthetics, oh, thank you very much, Dusty M. Speaking of aesthetics, I want to do something more about the philosophy of art, but I'm not quite sure what it's gonna be or how it would fit that theme of like individual and society. Yeah. Hey, you're right, Machiavelli might make an interesting contrast with Confucius, and I can bring back the dictionary joke for the Italian. Ha ha ha. Lovely, already lovely. I love it. Yeah, so we'll see. Mia did one about the military. Maybe it'd be a good topic for you as well. Well, if Mia's already done it, I don't want to do it. Yes. Borders maybe kind of been done. Yeah, we'll see. So those are some sort of loose ideas. That I want to do. Can you make a video about animal abuse? I mean, it sounds pretty ethically straightforward, isn't it? Don't you think? Mr. Prism says, have you considered doing shorter, easier videos between your big productions? No, because I don't have time. They take as long to make as they take to make, you know? It would take even longer to make them if I did more content, you know? I'll make as much content as I can. So yeah, we'll see. I don't really know, of course, what acting is going to come my way in 2022. I hope that my play will be on in London. We're making good progress towards it, but obviously it all depends on the COVID situation and also on the theatre situation. Like, theatre in London is kind of knackered because all the theatres said we're going to honour the stuff that was booked in 2020 and 2021. So there's like a huge backlog of stuff, but then, you know, some of it can't go on, and like other people's like have to be given priority, and it's difficult. The theatre situation is tough at the moment, and also, you know, if we're going to be locked down again, or, you know, are people going to buy tickets if there's Omicron going around? So we'll see, but I'm going to do my best to have my play up in 2022. I think it would be good. Thank you very much for that super chat, Sydney King. So yeah, we'll have to see what 2022 brings. My agent had a chat with me the other day and was like, hey, you know, here's some exciting opportunities that we're going to put you up for, which is nice. So I hope I'll be kept busy acting wise. Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed I get to do this medical stuff in January, because like I've already cleared it with my agent, and he's like, yeah, perfect timing. There's like maybe a play that might be being developed by somebody in kind of a big name, and he might want to be in it. So like, you know, it's all kind of planned out. It's all good. So just fingers crossed. Come on, Joe, you gotta let me in. I gotta get treatment for my Christopher Walken-itis. So yeah, we'll see. Beep. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Kaylee's rat, thank you. That's really, really kind. That's amazing. Thank you, that's so generous. American sociologist Irving Goffman has incredible work on identity and performance. I mean, I'm sure he does, but as a topic, I feel like I've kind of covered that already. Oh, thank you for reminding me, Teresa Moritz. When does the Nebula special come out? So the crew, the Philosophy Tube behind the scenes documentary has, I think, almost been finished. The crew told me they were going to send me a preview this weekend. So I'm going to hopefully review it this weekend, and then we'll get it up on Nebula Fingers crossed by the end of the year. We shall see. Emma Howes says, what point should we be worried? What can we do about it? Now and many things. I have been invited to a conference, I think, in France to speak about political polarization in the new year. So we'll see whether I end up going to that. Oh, and of course, VidCon. If VidCon is on in the new year, I was invited to be a featured creator this year. Obviously, it was cancelled and they rolled it over. So if VidCon happens this summer, I'll be there, which should be interesting. I've not been to VidCon since 2019, which is the only time I've been, and was like kind of a wild time. So we shall see. Harry texted me back. Oh my god. I can't tell you what it is, but I'm gonna get smack. Oh wow. Fuck. I'm on stream right now. I'll text you again in a bit. So yeah, VidCon, if it's happening, I'll be there. If it's happening and I'm not, filming something, then I'll be there. I'm anticipating that Philosophy Tube will return end of February, early March. Like, if everything goes to plan and I get to go to the US and be cured of my Christopher Walken disease, I'll then have to spend some time recovering. Yeah, Harry's fine, don't worry. I'll then have to spend some time recovering from my Christopher Walken ectomy. Then hopefully like end of Feb, early March, I'll be back. Probably with this video on bodily autonomy. So yeah. Yeah, that's the plan for 2022. So, I think we'll probably hang around for like 10 more minutes, because then I've got to pack down this whole office and take everything back to my flat, because I'm not going to use this office again. So say goodbye to Philosophy Tube headquarters. We'll be relocating. Have you ever thought about tackling the discourse of what is comedy? Says McLeod2692. Maybe. I mean, I think Cat Black already did that, but like, we'll see. Thank you, Reese M. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Alice. Thank you so much. Aw. Dog whistles. It's kind of been done. So, if you have any questions, then stick them in chat. Probably hang around for another 10 minutes or so, and then I'll have to go. Let me put on the cool music. Oh yeah. Well done, John. Can you make a video about autism? I don't think it's really my forte, I think it an autistic creator should make that, really. No TF stream for me tonight, I'm afraid. Sorry. Yeah, I'm supposed to get good internet in my flat in January. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Favorite Sophie song, says Arca Zion. I don't think I've listened to any Sophie songs. She was never really my thing. I still am a Kim Petras girl, I have an old friend who's a big fan of Sophie, but yeah. Do you think a funny outtake video would be popular I always publish, well, when there are blooper reels, I upload them for patrons. There haven't been that many this year because mainly there aren't that many bloopers, but... 8 Rinswine says, how often do you stream? Do you ever do things like gaming? And do you use YouTube or Twitch? I always do it on YouTube. I usually stream a couple of weeks after the video came out so that I can, you know, talk about how it went. Hang on, I got chocolate on my leg. And I use YouTube. The streams are a way for me to respond to feedback and like get better at what I do, you know. And also occasionally I jump in on other people's streams, so I'm occasionally found on the Trash Future stream to YouTube zone. That's just for fun, really. Emil Scott Burgoyne says, what was it like filming Django and when is it out? I think it's going to be out in the second half of next year, and filming it was amazing. Like, a truly incredible experience. Obviously a lot of it I can't talk about, but it was, yeah, just amazing. Life-changing, really, in a way. Like, being on a set with award-winning actors and filmmakers and just people at the top of their game was, yeah, it really made me realize how much I'd missed feeling like a novice, because, like, I've said this a few times, but with YouTube I feel like I've kind of, you know, gotten about as good as I'm gonna get. Kind of on a bit of a victory lap, you know. I've got 1 million subs, been invited to be a feature creator at VidCon. Like, I've gotten about as good as I can get at making YouTube videos. And on the set of Django I was like, oh, I am gonna get better at acting over the course of doing this, and like, I want to take acting jobs that are gonna help me develop as a performer. So that's one of the things I took away. And also, like, you know, I made some great friends. Like, some of the actors I was working with are just like really good friends and really lovely people. Yeah, you know, Matthias and Nicholas obviously are like lovely guys, and you know, Lisa's fantastic. Obviously, like, incredibly talented actors. Like, but everyone was. Danny, how does one properly yes and something? Start by doing it literally and just like, yes, and this, and then after a while you won't need to say that anymore. It'll just happen. Karina Freeman, there will be blooper reels when there are bloopers, but like, I don't want to insult you by deliberately making mistakes like, oh, it's like a crazy blooper, like, it didn't really happen. Like, if bloopers occur organically, then I put them up, but I don't want to insult you by having, like, because there are some bloopers that just aren't interesting, like, just me, like, flubbing the lines. Those aren't interesting, they're not funny, so, yeah. Rowan Crump, I didn't get to spend much time with Numi, actually. We weren't on set at the same time, so I think there was one day we were in the same scene, but, like, that was it, so. I don't think we were even in country at the same time a lot of the times, because, just because of, like, where our scenes were, like, on which sets, so. Obviously I can't talk about my character or any of the events that happen in the series, so don't even ask. Hey, Skyride, that's really cool. I'm really glad. I'm almost out of chocolate raisins. And now I'm out. No, I mean, you don't have to read Nabokov if you don't like it, you know. It's not compulsory. Yet. Are you going to be in Russell T Davies' Doctor Who? I hope so. Like, that would be cool. Obviously that's not up to me, you know, and if I was, I couldn't tell you, so we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Yeah, goodbye to the Philosophy Tube office. You've been an inconvenient and extremely expensive waste of my goddamn time. It's like very, very unpleasant being in here because when the sparkly background isn't up, it's just a white, small, echoey room. Favorite podcasts to listen to that you aren't a part of, says Hawaiian Juicebox. I mean, of course, Trash Future, and I like to listen to Well, There's Your Problem, just because I like to hear about the things that happened. I like it when Roz tells me about the things that happened. It's good. Ashtray Girl, no, in general, you shouldn't really campaign to do that kind of thing because it wouldn't affect the outcome either way. I would be very, very surprised if Russell doesn't already have someone in mind for the role. I would guess that he wouldn't come back as showrunner unless he had someone in mind already. So and also they're not going to cast an unknown trans woman in the lead. So I mean, I appreciate that you think that I could play the role, and I admit that it is also within my casting. But I'm not going to hold my breath for that. I just want to be in stuff that allows me to get better. Curiosity, not ambition. Yeah. Will the purple background stay? Yes, it probably will. Because I'll just put up this same background in my flat, so it won't look any different to you, but it will be much more convenient for me. Yeah. Sadly, I will not be getting a cat because my landlord will not allow it. But hey. Okay, well, I think we've got about 3 minutes left. The Wi-Fi in my place will be good in January. They have promised me. And the rent on this office renews automatically for 3 months in January. So I'm like, okay, either if they screw me over and I don't get good internet, then I'll save some money. And also I don't need to upload again or stream again until I'm recovered from my operation to remove Christopher Walken. To remove Christopher Walken from my brain. So I'll have a little bit of time. There's no point renting this office for 2 months when I'm not going to use it. So, do you have time for hobbies? Says Sudorio. No, no, I do not. Who are you getting the Wi-Fi from? Internet company? From the internet. I downloaded it from the internet. I downloaded more RAM. It was good. My Saskatchewan Wi-Fi is nicer than Abby's. Yeah, it is. For now. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get some good internet. It's only taken me a year and a half of asking, but they have finally installed the internet zones. So that'll be good. New Year's resolutions. Just get everything done that I have planned. Joe Biden, don't fuck me on this. Don't do it, Joe. Where can I watch Django? I don't know. I don't know who they're selling it to. Probably on Sky. I think they're trying to sell it to some Americans. Available wherever good shows are found. It's not within my control. That's honestly one of the things that I loved about being on Django is this isn't my control. It's not my control. I'm not directing it. I'm not editing it. I don't have to do about that. I turn up to the set. I do my acting. I'm the acting department. I do the best I can. And then I go home. And it's beautiful. It's what I like. It's nice. 8 years of having all the responsibility on Philosophy Tube. It's nice to be okay, now I am the learner again. I learn from the masters and I watch them do it. And honestly, seeing Nicholas and Matthias do the things they do, and I had an amazing chat with Matthias on the last day of Django, because I observed him doing something in the scene, and then I said, "Oh, do you mind if I ask, what's that? And he said, yeah, well, the way I see it is this. And like just being able to learn from actors who've been doing it 20, 30, 40 years, to learn how they see it and be like, okay, cool, like that's how I can incorporate what you're doing into what I do. And I feel like I got better at acting over the course of Django, which is awesome, like, because acting is what I love. It's like, it's what I have to do. It's what my soul is called to do. So it was amazing. I really, really liked it. Anyway, it is now time for me to go. Thank you very much for a lovely year. Yeah, I think I was reflecting the other day that even though this has been a difficult year for planet Earth, I think this has been the best year of my life. And you've all had a lot to do with that. I thought that when I came out in January, I was like, this is gonna be the end of my career. Like, I'm done. There'll be a few more months of YouTube, and then I'm gonna have to do something else. So like, acting career is gonna be done. But on the contrary, YouTube career stepped up. Acting career, like, signed with an incredible agent, like immediately got cast in like 1, 2, bam, 3 big things. Like, play took off, like sent my play to a director who's just like, yeah, I love this, I want to do it. And like, yeah, I think this has been the best year of my life, which is like wild. So thank you. PhilosophyTube will return. James Bond will return in 2022, February, March, depending on borders and medical stuff. We'll see. But thank you for watching. Like, yeah, Soy, you're not wrong. Soy says, yeah, because you're white. Yeah, you're not wrong there. But whether like through privilege or through luck, or like, having earned however small a part of it, like, my gratitude is sincere. Thank you. It's I hope the next year is even better, and I hope that your next year is good too. All right then, babes. Take it easy. Have a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. Have a good holiday. Get boosted. Get the boost, baby. Omicron, oh my god, bitch, be gone. And good luck. And Godspeed to all of us. And if Joe Biden, if you're watching, don't fuck me on this, Joe. I swear to God, I will go to the Texas Book Depository window and I will lean out of the window and I will